Tonight in 12 Investigates, there is an enormous backlog of court cases all over the country, all over the state, and specifically in Forsyth County. The county's chief public defender, Paul James, says this is all because of the COVID pandemic. WXI 12's Maria DeBone spoke with him about just how bad the issue is and what needs to be done to fix it. Maria.
Yeah, well, James called it a dire situation, saying they have a backlog of cases from before the pandemic that they're trying to get caught up on while taking on new cases that are happening now. According to Paul James, the chief public defender for Forsyth County, there are over 65,000 cases pending in district court. That includes misdemeanors, felonies, and infractions. In Superior Court, there are over 1,200 misdemeanor appeals and 4,800 felony level cases, all awaiting trial. James said the legislature gave administrative courts funds to deal with the backlog that came from COVID, but said there's not enough people to staff the courtrooms.
The problem is you can put a judge into an extra courtroom if you have one, but then you still have to have an extra clerk, you have to have extra bailiffs, you have to have extra district attorneys, and you have to have extra public defenders to be able to process any cases in those courts, even ones without a jury trial. And without those resources, those additional judges aren't going to do much except twiddle their thumbs because there's nothing going to be in front of them.
To fix the backlog, James said the legislature needs to fund more district attorney and public defender positions in order to have more people to take on these cases. Live in Winston-Salem, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News.
Maria, thank you. Investigators in Randolph County say human remains found back in March belonged to a man who had been missing for more than 10 years. The sheriff's office says the body of Michael Wilkerson was discovered in early March in woods along New Hope Church Road. That's not far from Seagrove. Investigators at the State Crime Lab identified those remains. They say the cause of death is still not immediately clear and the case does remain open. Wilkerson was last seen in Asheboro in September of 2011. State troopers later found his wrecked pickup truck with his cell phone inside, but no one was in or near the truck. And in Guilford County, deputies are investigating after a man was found dead in woods in Climax. They found his body this morning on Company Mill Road. So far, the victim here has not been identified. Detectives in Burlington are following up on leads in the shooting death of a 17-year-old boy. Officers responded to Graham Street at about 8:30 last night. That's where they found the teenager with a gunshot wound. Police haven't said what led up to this shooting. An opinion written by a Supreme Court justice as part of the decision late last week to overturn Roe v. Wade is raising new concerns about other cases that the court has weighed in on in the past. Calls to revisit landmark LGBTQ cases have generated a lot of discussion, but how likely are we to see changes to those? Ford Hatchett has our report.
In his concurring opinion on the Dobbs case on abortion rights, Justice Clarence Thomas suggested the court should also revisit Obergefell v. Hodges and Lawrence v. Texas, cases that currently provide constitutional rights to same-sex relationships and marriages.
The fact that Justice Thomas brought up not only Obergefell, but also Lawrence v. Texas signals to LGBTQ people that this court is trying to make our existence, the existence of LGBTQ people, illegal.
Any revisiting of LGBTQ rights would take time.
This does not mean that they are going to reevaluate LGBTQ rights decisions. It should provide concern because it does offer a really strong basis for doing that.
Thomas's opinion seems to contradict other conservative justices on the court, but that offers little comfort to some in the LGBT community.
The 3 Supreme Court justices that were appointed by Trump all said that this was decided law, but as soon as they were able to hear another case about it, they immediately reversed. So I would not trust anyone that says that Obergefell is settled law, that marriage equality is settled law.
A Gallup poll released earlier this month saw nationwide support for same-sex marriage reach a record high of 71%.
The court really lacks legitimacy when it rules in ways that are against what the majority of Americans want.
While many are worried, the Guilford Green Foundation and LGBTQ Center's executive director Jennifer Roop says community is more important than ever.
Because collectively, you know, we have greater power together than we do individually. So it's important now that we come together, that we find each other, that we find safe spaces, and that we protect those spaces.
Here in Greensboro tonight at 6:30, Alternative Resources of the Triad is hosting a Pride March to remember, commemorating the 53rd anniversary of the Stonewall riots in New York City. In Greensboro, Fort Hatchett, WXAI 12 News.